Good morning. This is Pearl from Tuned In Tarot, and I'm here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of self. Understanding that whatever state these energies are in, we can see reflected back to us in the outside world. So we can glean things about people from our lives, but really they're only reflecting back to us where we are inside of ourselves. All right, Divine Feminine going first again today. And we have interesting spread here for her, a mixed bag. I think that's what we're going to see for a while right now because of where the energies have been. We will start with the top of the deck for her. The forefront of her mind in her headspace right now is Five of Pentacles. So we have the Five of Pentacles back again. And this time, I think it's kind of interesting because the energy that I'm getting from her, good morning, Ash, is not necessarily the energy of complete lack mentality here. It's really not about her being in a state of begging as she has been in the past in terms of her financial situation. It's definitely how she has felt in this divine masculine, divine feminine union. So we have her out in the cold, shut out, and the lights are off. You know, in the OG imagery for Smith Waite, there's a warmth and a light coming from the window, and this sense that there's cold outside and there's warmth inside. But the interesting thing I'm drawn to in this imagery today, and the feeling that I'm drawn to in this imagery today, is that it's cold inside. It's dark inside. There's a complete unknown about what is behind that wall, whether that's even a sanctuary or not. And she's on the outside, not knowing what exactly is going on. And I'm really feeling that this is her kind of surrendering to this energy of being shut out of divine masculine's life, and also of shutting him out from hers, because the lights are off for both of them. There's a darkness here, and it's cold and it's pretty lonely. So there's definitely a sadness coming from that card today, and sort of like a resignation, just like resigned to, that's the situation, that's where they're at. It's unfortunate, and she's feeling how unfortunate it is that that is the point that they're at in this union that they were wanting to have. The niggling thought in the back of her mind is the Seven of Swords in reverse. And it's no coincidence that the color scheme is so similar, right? There's that darkness, that unknown, that secrecy. She really wants to know what happened. I have a sense that she's just as frustrated as she's been with the divine masculine and as ready to be done as she is and move on. I see her feeling so, she wants so much to have revealed, like, what happened? Why did it seem like this was going to happen and then it didn't? What is being hidden? She wants it to be revealed. She wants to know the truth. And that's always been something that has plagued her in this situation, is really not knowing the truth and wanting the truth to be revealed in regards to the divine masculine keeping her out. So this is forefront and back of the mind. So pretty heavy energy for her at this point. But working to release it, because when we go into her headspace, the first thought on her mind is Empress energy. How beautiful is this? We have the Five of Pentacles, which for her has always represented a lack mentality. And I think that the lack mentality right now, if it's applied to anything, would be applied to love and not foundation or finances. She's feeling like the Empress. She's able to command empires at this point. She's able to sort of kick back and allow this abundance to just come to her. So the lack is really that she doesn't know why the connection has faded to this point where it's untenable for her. And the music that came on today for the Divine Couple, the first song was The Gift by the Joy. Actually, the first song was a Beck song called Piss on the Door, which was really it's kind of sounding really testy and kind of an angry song. And that was playing for the very, very initial beginning of shuffling for Divine Masculine. And then it transitioned into this song, which is called The Gift by the Joy Formidable. And the lyrics to that are, have your dance with me, take every turn, put your hands on me again, pull out all of the hurt. I've been lost out here for so long. God never showed, could have all gone so wrong. So when you reach for this, I'll be down here guiding the time to your kiss. So there's definitely that. I mean, those messages are so clear for both of them. And then there was this outro from Cardi B's OG Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 1. Yes, I do have that in my library. I'm a proud Cardi B fan from way back. And the message of that is definitely this Empress message, you know, be you, be who you are, just be who you are. And of course, Cardi B was a gangsta B at that time. And then finally, a song called You Name It by Leslie Gore, which is that it was like a song like My Divine Masculine Has Everything. That was sort of the message of that song. So interesting mix. But we have the Empress energy coming through even in the music. And then also with that Gift song, we have that like, how could it have gone so wrong? What went wrong? And I think both of them are really thinking this right now, just like, what went wrong? Although I don't know how the Divine Masculine could not know what went wrong, but the Divine Feminine doesn't know why what went wrong. That's like her state. But she's commanding her empire. She's got her foundation. She feels like there's this birthing of a new age that's happening, and it is painful, and she's going through that pain, but she's basically got a lot of ideas. She's got inspiration. There's a pregnancy here in that she's like gestating this next phase of her existence. And she's coming from a position of power. And then the Six of Swords upright is back again. So we have her truly saving herself, using her head space to navigate the fears of the heart space and vice versa. She's able to transition from this painful place, the strife and the struggle, to a new shore. It's an unknown shore. She doesn't know exactly where she's going, but with this Empress energy, she feels powerful enough to basically ferry herself to safety. And because of this, and this is beautiful, like I almost feel like crying. Probably will cry during this reading today. Definitely in my emotions and my feels, hardcore. There's happiness here. The sun. There's fulfillment. She feels like she's so happy that she could feel this painful Five of Pentacles energy, but not be thwarted in her Empress energy. Because she really did come into union in herself. There was a union. When we were seeing the union over and over again in these daily readings, we were seeing union. And Divine Feminine fully achieved that inside of herself. And because of that, even though she's left outside in the cold and not able to be with the specific masculine that she's had in mind, she's still able to find happiness. She's still able to find her own fulfillment to save herself. And that's incredibly powerful. And I couldn't be happier to see this or feel it, because I do have this feeling myself. Like even in my sadness, from my experience, I'm so happy that I clearly have these tools I need to navigate through these tumultuous waters to be in my full worth as that Empress energy. And then we have the Twin Flame card. And this is her awareness that she does have a twin. He's not here. The lights are out. There's nobody home. and there's no one at her door. But she understands that this is a journey of expansion. It's a journey into the unknown. And she's fully in her grief of releasing the physical manifestation, but able to be mindful that it's a journey that may not complete in this lifetime. This could be another lifetime. And she's accepting that and feeling so happy that she could still feel good, because for so long it felt like without this physical manifestation, she would not be whole. And as much as she tried to play that off and pretend that wasn't her energy, that was her energy, right? She was like, I mean, like, I just gonna be complete in myself. And I don't even need divine masculine to complete me. And there was definitely doubt and fear in those statements. But she has come to a place where the end of this journey is her Empress energy, her wholeness and her completeness, her expansion into her power. The gift that the divine masculine gave her, while it was painful, it was the gift of expansion, because it showed her that she knows her worth, that she would not settle, that she passed the test, right? The test being, will you accept anything less than a match of the union in yourself? And her response was, no, I won't. Here's the Knight of Cups in reverse. I won't accept anything less than a knight that is expressing his feelings to me, ready to show up, ready to be truthful, ready to reveal what is hidden, ready to show me that he knows my value, that I can't be toyed with, that I'm an empress, not a princess, right? Not a girl, but I'm a woman. I'm the divine feminine. I'm a goddess, bitch. Cardi B, right? I'm a gangster bitch. Like, you can't fuck with me. Like, unless you're showing up like this, not interested, bro. I'm saving myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm ferrying myself to sanctuary. My fantasy was that my knight was going to show up, but I'm releasing that. Yesterday in my live collaborative reading with Grace Strega, which I do on Instagram every Sunday, and if you have never checked it out, you should, because it's so synergistic. It's really, really incredible. And the first thing on Divine Feminine's mind yesterday, in the afternoon, was the Knight of Cups upright, and how she's not wanting the Knight of Pentacles, which was in reverse, just sitting there, not moving, that energy of not coming. She wanted this kind of an energy. And in her headspace, she's actually providing herself with this energy, with her own cup. She's learning how to receive someone like this, because the divine masculine has not been in this energy. He's thought about it, but he hasn't completed it. There's not been a completion to his thoughts in the heart space. The last thing that she's battling with is the devil. We've got devil energy here, clarifying the sun. Isn't that interesting? So there's a lot of layering going on in this card. First of all, she's fighting off devil energy in regards to thinking about the non-existence of the divine masculine who's kept her in the cold, right? So there's that. But she is trying to deal with the loop thinking, the issues of codependency, and she's probably struggling with her addictions at this point in order to sort of combat the emotional things that have been going on for her. So she's really working hard to keep her spiritual fulfillment and happiness while still having to deal with the loop thinking and the addiction she has to this particular physical manifestation, because it's definitely, an addiction at this point. So we do see her struggling a little bit. Let's go into her heart space and see what she's doing in her heart space. Top of the deck, forefront of her heart space is this Three of Pentacles, and it is finally upright. We were seeing this in its reverse a lot, but now it's upright. And we see her working hard to build that foundation that comes with the Four of Pentacles. And she's working collaboratively. She's working with others. Of course, not divine masculine at this point, which is why this card was always in reverse, because she was wanting to do that teamwork. They weren't doing the teamwork. Now it's upright, but we know that she's not working with divine masculine because she's kept out in the cold. So it's not him, but there's others. She's calling into her network. She's working with others. She might be working for others as well, helping others, you know, coaching, spiritual counseling, teaching, whatever it is. But she's very focused on that work and really using that energy to help her build her foundation. And then the niggling feeling, we have her in her Queen of Wands energy, which is fierce, strong, passionate, holding on to her vision. We're not in the shadow trade. She's not even angry with this divine masculine. She's just deeply, deeply sad. That I feel very strongly. She's just deeply sad. Not angry at all. It's not on him to be at the same level as her. Like, he has to do his thing and he's not there, and she's accepting of that. This is more about her passion, her ferocity, her willingness to hold fiercely to that vision and really take action towards her dreams so that she can fully embody that Empress energy that she's wanting to maintain in her headspace. Wow. We have the Six of Wands, which is victory. How funny to see victory when we're not seeing this divine masculine at all. He's not here for her. She's on her own. But she feels victorious. This is a solo victory. She's achieved a solo victory, and she's really fine with it. She's okay with it. She thought like that she would only be happy if this was a shared victory, but she's actually okay with it being a solo victory. She feels very confident that she's made the right choice by choosing herself, and that the universe is starting to show her that this is the right decision, and these little opportunities are surfacing and little things are coming through, and she's feeling like, you know, I am victorious. Actually, I really did do that work to release this hold of a particular person, and now I can be free. I have my victory. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, this badass queen. She's really here for it. And she is able to be in the 3D, manifest her dreams, have her foundation. Every Empress starts with this foundation that comes from this Queen of Pentacles. This has to be there for the Empress to have anything to rule, right? She needs empire. She needs an empire. An empire is composed of kingdoms. And right now we have the kingdom of vision, action, and communication, the kingdom of fertility, abundance, material well-being, and health. She's really feeling very much in her power. I'm friggin' impressed. And then we have the King of Wands. There's her match, but he's not upright because he's not here. And she's releasing this need for him to be here. She's also acknowledging that this big action has not yet been taken. She hasn't seen any action from this king, not in terms of communication, telling her how he feels, or coming towards her, or bringing in this physical union. Of course, it does have that meaning, but we're also seeing here that she hasn't quite taken that big action herself. She hasn't quite communicated that large vision that she has. She's holding it down as the queen, but we haven't seen her actually communicating this action on a grand scale yet. But it's coming, right? It's here, so we know that it's coming. And this is clarifying the sun, which is also super fascinating, because it's like, there's no King of Wands here, but I ain't sad about it. Like, I'm happy anyway because my spiritual fulfillment comes from myself. It doesn't come from this king. She's really, really, truly released him, which is hard to believe because the attachment was so strong. But we're not seeing that Emperor with that clinging energy from the Mystic Mondays deck right now. We're just seeing her Queen energy and her Empress energy. And then we have the Moon, which is such a strong symbol for this couple. And it's clarifying the twin flame journey. So what I'm seeing here is she knows how important, somehow I'm recording another video. Sorry, turn that off. She knows how important this journey is. She understands fully the 5D energy that has existed for them. She's feeling uncertainty about what will happen now because, you know, when you release this attachment, you don't need it, and she's going her own way. She's not exactly sure what it's going to look like. And I think there's a comfort here of keeping this relationship in the 5D, although not engaging, because I don't see her engaging with this divine masculine, because in order to move on, she really has to detach from him because she wants to be able to call in some kind of partner that's going to reflect back to her her own energy so she can receive this cup. So there's not a feeling here that she's going to be engaging in this 5D energy, but just an acceptance of it, that it might be that this twin flame journey it stays in the dream space. It stays in the subconscious. It doesn't become physical. And she's kind of comfortable with that. But it's definitely also got that element of just the uncertainty of not knowing where this path leads. And the Two of Wands is, of course, an energy where you're just waiting and you are relying utterly on the divine at this point. There's nothing that can be done. She can't do anything to bring about this physical union except to just trust in ultimately that she's made the right decision. And the universe is showing her that she has. And she is the high priestess, trusting in her intuition, that this Knight of Cups hasn't shown up, but a Knight of Cups that matches her will. She is trusting this intuition that as she releases the specific manifestation, she achieves her happiness in spiritual fulfillment inside of herself in complete union. And so that is incredible. The Empress, the High Priestess, the Moon, which is also the goddess of the moon. We've got, that's like High Priestess energy too. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. You can see why I don't feel that this Five of Pentacles is anything about her lack mentality. It is not. There's one shadow in her heart space, and it makes perfect sense. It is the Ten of Swords, because there has been a grievous death, an ending, a painful, painful, painful ending. And that is what is clarifying the Devil energy. So we know that she's doing her best. I like how that flashed red when we talked about Devil energy. She's doing her best to manage the loop thinking, the addiction to, like, you know, trying not to look at divine masculine physical manifestation on social media, you know, all of the behaviors she used to have, paying attention to what he was doing, giving a shit about what he was doing, having to let go of all of those tangible parts. And also the feeling that she's allowed herself to imagine that this was going to be a physical union and then have that not actually be true, have that dream sort of killed, died. Now we know that this means rebirth. We know that this 10 of Swords culminates in rebirth ultimately, and that finally now this ending is going to allow her to really blossom and be her full Empress energy. But it's difficult and it's painful. And so it is one thing to look at this spread and see her in her power and feel very moved by that because she's in her power despite this addiction, despite being stuck in her headspace and feeling all of the pain that's inflicted by these swords. She's still able to be an empress and a queen. And I'm fucking impressed. So good job. Good job. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, the union is stupid. Oh my God. I can't. I literally cannot. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Divine masculine and divine feminine are definitely in union. Not physical union, but maybe they will be after all after this reading. I don't freaking know. Wouldn't that be something? All right. Top of the deck. Forefront of divine masculine's mind. Self-sabotage. He's thinking about this again. I think he was thinking about this yesterday. Was it yesterday? I wiped my glasses and then made them dirtier. Classic. I think he was thinking about this yesterday, but it could have been the day before. Now I've kind of lost track. Regardless, it's still on his mind, the forefront of his mind, the thing that he's thinking about the most. And he's really, really thinking, wow, I super fucked up. I super fucked up. I should reframe my self-sabotage as self-protection because that is what we can think about it as. There's a healthier way to look at this card, because if we look at this card from a place where we are sabotaging ourselves, we tend to focus on the shame of having done something that hurt ourselves. We do hurt ourselves with self-sabotage, but we do it from a place of protection, a fear of moving forward into the unknown. And so it's completely understandable. And if you can remove the shame from it, you stop doing it a whole lot faster. So let's help him take the shame out of it. He protected himself in ways that prevented him from being able to move forward towards his divine feminine. I love the imagery in the Cosmic Tarot, which I use for the heart space of divine masculine, which shows a couple that is not looking at one another. They're in the circle of swords and they have their backs to one another. They can't see each other. And all they have to do is turn around and they're together. And so he's willfully been blind to his behaviors because he's very comfortable in them. And he's feeling also that he's kept this divine feminine bound and blindfolded and imprisoned. This is also definitely coming from this card too. It's not just about him protecting himself. It's about him having done this to protect the divine feminine, but ultimately realizing that, first of all, it was not his place to make that decision without asking, without clarifying to her what his reasons were. And he's feeling that that behavior is really what has caused most of the problems that he has. And I can see that in the rest of his headspace. The niggling thought in the back of his mind is impatience. Now, in the reading yesterday with Grace Strega, this came out upright for him. And he was being patient about waiting for his material well-being to fully come into its reality and to feel that King of Pentacles energy, which was still, it was in its reversal. But today we're actually seeing impatience here, impatience with himself. This is also part of the self-sabotage. Him waiting for the material fulfillment has been sabotaging. He's protected himself, protected the divine feminine because he felt like he wasn't worthy of bringing in an offer, and that the offer he was bringing was, not the best possible scenario for her. However, he felt that way. And also being focused on his coins, being focused on the material world instead of really focusing on the power that the spiritual fulfillment would have for him in terms of material. Because when we are spiritually fulfilled, the universe provides. When we are only focused on material fulfillment, it's first of all really elusive because we're focused on it, and anything that we're focused on with doubt is very difficult to manifest. So it's much more difficult to manifest abundance. That's why people are like, oh, you have to work so hard to be wealthy. And then some people don't have to do anything at all. It's this navigating. Yeah, if you work your ass off and focus constantly on your coin, you will manifest it. There's definite formulas that we all believe in, work hard, that it pays off. Although the idea that poor people don't work hard is the biggest myth on the face of the earth that I wish we could obliterate with like automatic weapons, like just like nuclear bomb that idea. Every poor person I know works like a fucking dog. So the idea that rich people are rich just because they really worked hard and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, like, fuck you. That's absolutely not true. Like, everyone is pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. It's energetic. Money is energy. And some people have been blessed with an abundant mindset and others have not. And that's just the nature of it. And it's a journey, right? All right, I digress. But you can work your ass off and focus a lot on your coin and make a lot of coin. You can work your ass off spiritually and choose your passions and choose yourself and believe in the power of abundance and open those portals. You have to work to open them. You can't just sit there. You have to work on your passions. You have to show the universe that you're going to show up to receive, and then abundance will flow to you too. So divine masculine is releasing this focus on this material manifestation through toil, because he realizes that it's ineffective, and he's also really impatient with it because it takes a long fucking time. The first thing on his mind is a mirror for divine feminine. We have the Queen of Wands, right? There's that mirror. Now he's focused on the fact that he has really pissed her off. He has super pissed her off. He's thinking, we're in his headspace. He's thinking, wow, I made her extremely angry. She's not talking to me. She's not looking at me. She's not doing anything towards me. She's actively disengaging from me, detaching from me because I fucked up and sabotaged everything. So like, great. What do I do now? I'm really scared and I don't know what to do because there's nothing worse than a pissed off Queen of Wands. Now we saw on her side, she's not angry. So he's thinking she's angry. She's not doing anything to him out of anger. She's doing things for herself out of her self-worth. And that might feel like lashing out to the divine masculine, but it is not. In truth, it is her showing him that unless he can show up and believe in her value the way she believes in her value, there's really nothing for them to say. She doesn't have anything to say to him. She's been giving and 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 getting nothing. Not a damn thing. He thinks he's been giving her things because he's been doing what makes him feel good. Oh, I want to express that I love her, so I'm going to express in this indirect way. That doesn't make her feel good. It makes her feel hidden. It makes her feel like she's out in the cold, doesn't know what's going on, isn't sure if he's even actually talking to her. Right? So she's not mad. She's fulfilled. She's in union in herself. She doesn't need a physical manifestation to make her whole. So the divine masculine is flailing. Here's the union. This is why I was just wait till you see the rest of this goddamn reading. I love that the sirens are coming to announce this devil energy. That's right. Send in the troops. We've got to fight off the devil here. They're both in devil energy because this is so difficult. Like we said, this is extremely painful. It's painful for both of them to experience this detaching from a physical manifestation because both of them really wanted it. But this divine feminine is a Queen of Wands, a Queen of Pentacles, and an Empress. She is not about to accept any bullshit. So they are in union there in that they are thinking a lot about each other, loop thinking about what went wrong. I mean, there's codependency here for sure, because it's like when one isn't paying attention to the other one is like, I can't, you know, it's all that. So definitely they're both in this energy. For divine masculine, I could see him and maybe dealing with his addictions, but this devil energy, this loop thinking, the codependency, being chained, being addicted to the cycles that are in this relationship, this is really causing him some trouble. I see you asking for a general reading. You can hit me up at tunedintarot@gmail.com and I would be more than happy. This is technically a general love reading, so if you keep watching, you'll probably get information that you need from it. Here is the next thought in his mind, which is another mirror. I can't make this up. 4 decks, people, that I shuffle. A mirror for divine feminine. Divine feminine, she is accepting a certain amount of uncertainty in regards to the demise of this twin flame relationship. Divine masculine is wanting to release this uncertainty, and he's wanting to reveal what has been hidden, which is a lovely match to the 7 of Swords in reverse, which has that same kind of meaning. Divine masculine really wants to reveal what has been hidden. And we see maybe what has been hidden, right? There's this devil energy. There's attachments, there's addictions, and he wants to come out of that energy and finally reveal it. He also really wants to come out of the 5D energy of the moon. He doesn't want to be in this place where he can only experience her in this ethereal way, in the dream space, in, you know, telepathically. And for them also, the moon is such a huge symbol. It has so much significant meaning. It's come up constantly for them throughout this whole relationship. And there's a power there. And he's really working to release fear and anxiety that he has about this Queen of Wands being angry. And then look at this King Union, the High Priestess, upright. And we have a divine masculine who's trusting his intuition. Can't wait to see his heart space if that's the case. But trusting his intuition and working on balancing. We also have this clarifying the Queen of Wands. So we do have a sense that divine feminine is not that approachable right now. In her High Priestess energy, in her pissed off Queen of Wands energy, this is not a friendly queen. This is not an overly welcoming divine feminine presence. The High Priestess is very high up. She's very difficult to approach. You have to come to her on a whole other level. And the placement of these cards next to each other falls exactly in the same placement as the divine feminine. What the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? This is nuts. Anyway, he's trusting his intuition and he's trying to balance that back and forth energy, that divine masculine, divine feminine energy. And we see another frickin' mirror for divine feminine. Got a lot of healing to do here, divine masculine. If all these cards were upright, y'all would be golden. We have happiness. Now, it's good to get this card in this headspace because you don't get this. When you get this card, it's auspicious whether it's upright or in its reversal. But what we see here is divine feminine that's taking her spiritual fulfillment, and that is what is making her happy. That is what is fulfilling her. She's fulfilling herself. The divine masculine is blocking this by this devil energy. So the focus in the headspace, the overthinking, the loop thinking, the addiction, the codependency is blocking his spiritual fulfillment, is blocking his happiness, right? But remember, this is his headspace. So he's aware. He's fully aware that this is on him. He could have his happiness if he could get out of that devil energy. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, one of the only cards that's not in complete union with Divine Feminine. And it's in its reverse. So for him, this is this consistent feeling of, I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to come with a small offer. I want to come with something significant. I want to release this feeling that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough. He's really trying to release that. This is clarifying his fear and anxiety. So he's trying to release his fear and anxiety that he is not enough for this Divine Feminine, that he cannot match her. And I would say if he watches these readings, then he should really release this fear, because they are really motherfucking matched at this point in time. So they are a match in their energy. The Divine Feminine is the incarnation of the Divine Feminine aspect of this physical Divine Masculine's soul. I don't know if that made any sense, but the idea that there's one soul in two parts and they're walking around on the earth, and as they figure that shit out, they can come together into this physical union, right? And have their happiness and spiritual fulfillment. So he's working on it. Oh my God. Okay. The top of the deck for the heart space for the Divine Masculine is union with the Divine Feminine. Y'all think there's going to be a reel today? Jesus. King of Wands in reverse. Also, this king is like, he's like a butthead. Like, why did they go with that style for the crown? Confused. Unless they wanted to indicate that, which, you know, I mean, okay. So the heart space for both of them is King of Wands. For Divine Feminine, this is releasing the need for this king to take action, and also an awareness that she's not taking this big action for herself, that she's not communicating her, in this case, her happiness, which is, because that's what it is, clarifying, so coming towards her happiness. Divine Masculine, this is the forefront of his mind, and if we lined it up with the clarifying forefront of his headspace, it's the sabotage that he's not taking this action, that he is not making this big communication towards Divine Feminine, that he's not fully expressing his passion. And he's also pissed off. We heard that in that first song that came up for him, which during my shuffle, Piss on the Door, which was definitely a song that was like, he's pissed off, literally. So he's angry. He's angry with himself. I think he's kind of angry with Divine Feminine. I think he's a little bit like, what the fuck? Like, how could she just fuck off like that? Like, I've been building towards her. I've got all these plans. And now she's like, oh, I'm just leaving. Like, bye, chill. And so he's like mad about it. He's feeling angry because Divine Masculine is not fully aware that the things that he does, he just really cannot comprehend, because his heart is behind everything he does. He's like, this is how I show my love. This is, you know, how come she can't see that? Bro, it's not that Divine Feminine doesn't see it. She sees it. It's that it doesn't match her energy. You don't tell an Empress you love her indirectly. You don't tell an Empress, like, hey, baby, I'm going to come for you when I'm ready. Okay? Just wait for me. And don't have anyone else in your life while you're doing it, because I can be jealous. No! Like, you don't tell an Empress that. An Empress will be like, okay, no. I don't need to wait for someone like that. What am I waiting for? For you to say you indirectly love me for the rest of my life? No, not interested. So he's not completely understanding the disconnect here, because he's having a hard time feeling in his feminine. Although with this in his headspace, it looks like he's starting to tap into it and starting to be like, okay, my intuition, My divine feminine inside of myself. Also, incidentally, that's also the twin flame, the major arcana twin flame card as well. So they're both, and that's in the same position as the minor arcana twin flame card in divine feminine's headspace and clarified by the moon. Jesus Christ. Anyway, this reading is nuts. So yeah, he's starting to tap into that divine feminine more and probably get a better sense of why exactly she's not accepting his non-offers, because they're really non-offers. This isn't an offer. It's not an offer. Like this isn't a communication. It's a lack of communication. It's a lack of action. So that's the forefront of the headspace or the heart space. The niggling feeling is, this is not over, right? Here's the world. Here's divine feminine. This is what he wants. He wants to complete this cycle. And the niggling feeling is, I haven't taken the appropriate action. So this is not over. And this is also the angry feeling too. Like, this is not over. Okay. I don't care what it takes. Like, this, you can go be an empress. I don't care, but this is not over. That's the feeling that divine masculine has. Like, no, it's not. No, we're not. That's not how this is ending. I've worked too hard. I've done too much, ... to let this slip away. The first thing in this heart space. Wow, these are all in reverse. The Six of Cups, the reunion, right? But this is also about nostalgia and focusing on the past. And it is the clarifier for the Queen of Wands. So it has a couple of meanings. It has, first of all, my Queen of Wands is pissed off because I did not bring her the reunion that was promised, or I haven't brought the reunion that was promised yet. I've been making her wait this whole time. So that's why she's mad. He's feeling. She's mad because I didn't do this. But it's also for him about releasing in his heart space the past, a focus on the past, and being satisfied by the past, by the good memories and good feelings, and just kind of staying there and sitting there and basking in that and not coming forward, which is not allowing him to approach divine feminine and communicate with her. Then we have the Princess of Cups in reverse. So this is Page of Cups energy. He chafes at his Page of Cups energy. He does not love it. It makes him feel naive, awkward. Divine Feminine loves this. This is true love. You know, this is just innocent, powerful, very true love. And this is clarifying the devil. So for Divine Masculine, the feeling that he has right now is his devil energy is blocking his true love. It's blocking his ability to be able to experience this from Divine Feminine. It is coming between them. It is preventing her from being able to love him wholeheartedly, because how can she love a Divine Masculine that's trapped in this devil energy? Well, Divine Masculine, I wouldn't worry too much about it because she has her own devil energy. But, you know, this is his feelings and his thoughts. This is where he's at. So he's feeling very much like he has blocked this true love from coming in, and that this devil energy makes him really immature. It makes him codependent. It makes him naive. Like, he doesn't know how to love. Like, he feels he wants Divine Feminine to understand, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't do this on purpose. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm a loser. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Literally, I have no idea. I've never done anything like this. Every kind of relationship I've ever had in the past has been like this. And I don't know what this is, right? And I'm sorry. There's like a heartfelt, like, please understand Divine Feminine message coming in that. Then we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So he wants to stop fighting against himself. He wants to release this illusion that there's anything to even fight, that there's this army of, you know, I don't know, like villains that's blocking him in his divine feminine. That's not a thing. That's like he's releasing this anxiety that he has to fight off anything to get towards her. He only has to stop fighting against himself. That is what his heart is earnestly telling him. And he's trusting his heart space. So hopefully he's taking that message. Will stop fighting himself and come into this union, this high priestess union. The Ace of Swords. Here's this swift, direct truth. It's not coming. It's held up. It's blocked. And it's interesting because this is clarifying his high priestess energy. This is why he's needing to trust this high priestess. He's engaged in these old behaviors. He wants to turn this around and bring in a new idea, a new experience, clarity, and direct truth. And so he's needing to trust his intuition to figure out exactly how to end these cycles, right? To actually end these cycles, these old ass behaviors. Divine Feminine is done with her old cycles. She's not cycling through her old stuff anymore. She's putting an end to it. This devil energy, this is a painful ending, but she's doing that work to just end the cycles with this divine masculine. And he's panicked because he realizes that her ending her cycles means not engaging with him anymore because he is still in his old ass energy. So he is trying to trust his intuition to be able to turn this sword around. And I'm going to do it for him in his heart space so that he can bring in that truth and act in a new way. Chariot. It is in reverse. He's out of control right now. He feels out of control. When you're angry, you start to feel out of control. He's passionate and angry because he loves very ardently this divine feminine. And she clearly doesn't see it, he's thinking. She doesn't see it. She doesn't see that I love her. It's not that divine feminine doesn't see that you love her. It's that the divine feminine doesn't see you, doesn't hear you, right? She can see that you love her, but just the fact that you love her, that's great. There's unconditional love here for the rest of time. But that equals a whole lot of nothing for divine feminine. She's got to go be for herself because the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, he ain't here, bro. So he's feeling, divine masculine is feeling out of control. He wants to get back into control, back into the place where the divine masculine and the divine feminine are moving forward with that motion together, not apart, right? This is really important for him. He wants them to start coming together, but he's not there yet. His ego is still running the show. And this is in the same row as the devil, which of course is ego as well. And divine feminine also, I should mention, is dealing with ego because part of being with this specific manifestation is also about ego for her. I know one of the painful aspects is having to tell people it didn't work out and feeling like her ego get wounded by that because she was really excited about this, having done this work and being like, I did it. I manifested my twin flame and he's amazing. And there's ego in that because that was that private agenda issue that they were both having. Well, in this case, this divine masculine is trying to get that hold of that ego. He's trying to come back into control so that he can move forward towards this physical union, towards his happiness. As long as he's out of control and the ego's at the wheel and the divine isn't driving, this happiness is blocked for him. It's here though. It's right here. All we need to do is shift into this energy where the divine is driving. So I'm going to do that for him. I'm always doing that for him. I'm so nice. All right, the Three of Swords. It's the last feeling in his heart. He's heartbroken. He is heartbroken by this feeling of his offer being rejected. Divine Feminine has assessed the offer and was like, nope, too small, not interested. Bye, I'm an empress. Show up as an emperor who's not rigid and controlling and will have something to talk about. And he's not able to show up as an emperor because he's working to release the feelings of unworthiness that he has, which are so small, like so small. He's like, I don't know how to love. I don't know how to be who you want. I don't know what you want. And he's really heartbroken about this. And there isn't a third party energy with this card today. This is just about this union. It is causing him a lot of heartbreak that it has come to this point where he is potentially losing the divine feminine, and he is going into his anger. You can even see the face of this individual here. This divine masculine is pissed. He's going into his anger, which, you know what? Anger is a step up the tone scale. It's taking you closer up towards your higher vibrating emotions, because it is empowering to feel angry. It makes you want to do something. It makes you want to act in that King of Wands energy. And he is trying to release the shadow too, right? It's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. All right, let's go to Divine Feminine and look. Also, we have a billion. I'm terrified. We're at 55 minutes here, and I haven't started the oracles yet. Like, woo, good luck, everyone. I don't know if everyone's going to get through this whole reading, but I am, because what the hell? This is crazy amount of union. All right, Divine Feminine, you are in the shadow attributes right now of companion energy, which is betrayal by misusing confidence and a loss of personal identity. I'm focused more on the loss of personal identity. And part of that is that your identity has so much been about this twin, and having to kind of come to a place where you're like, I can't choose this twin because he's not on the same page with me in terms of my worthiness. And so I really need to release him. And there is a feeling of losing your identity in that process. And so you're being called to look at the light attributes of companion energy, which is a loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So you're wanting to come from a place of being unselfish, and I do believe you are. I don't believe that you're acting selfishly in withdrawing your focus or attention from divine masculine. It is not selfish to do that. It's unselfish. It's actually, when you set healthy boundaries, it's actually really beneficial for everyone involved. So you are coming into a healthy energy. But the main thing that you need to do is not lose your sense of identity. You are you, and there is the divine masculine and there is a divine feminine, and you are two separate identities. Remember the analogy to actual human twins. If you have two twins with you in the room and you say, hey, are you your brother? And the other person's like, no, I'm me. And it's like, yeah, but you look exactly the same. And like, you act really similarly a lot. And they're like, no, I'm a separate individual. Like, I have my own identity. I have a different name. I have different goals, dreams, ideals, quirks. I'm my own person. Like, they would be super offended if you're like, oh, you look the same. Are you just the same? No, you're not. You are not your twin. You are, and you're not, right? You are, but you are your own identity. So really working to not lose your sense of self as you detach from your twin. You are called to look at the shadow attributes of mother energy, which is smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And you want to call in the light. Nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. So you want to be able to be very nurturing to yourself. Don't worry so much about other people, etc. Just worry more about yourself and nurture yourself. Don't worry about the divine masculine. If you walk away from this reading today and you're feeling like, oh, this person is, really pissed off and angry and I need to make him feel better. And no, That's not your job. Your job is not to make divine masculine feel better at all. That's been the problem. That's the dependence. That's the devil energy that you've been in. You want to be in the light, patience, unconditional love, and joy in giving birth. And also, you don't want to instill guilt in children for becoming independent. This is about yourself. You don't want to instill guilt in yourself for becoming independent. You absolutely, that's your job. Your job is to be independent from this divine masculine. So don't get lost in that energy. Divine child, you are in the light attributes, innocence, purity, and redemption, and it suggests a special connection with the divine. So you are really in a beautiful place right now. This has got a Page of Cups energy, innocence, purity. You're really, by detaching from this specific manifestation, by ending this cycle, you are really doing an extremely loving thing. It's funny because divine masculine's mad, but you know, I'm a mom, and sometimes when I do really loving things for my kid, he's mad about it. Like if I say, hey, you can't stay up till 4 a.m, you need to go to bed so that you don't feel terrible tomorrow and do the best thing for your health. And he might not want to go to bed at 9 p.m. when he was 8 years old. But guess what? I'm mom, and I'm telling you that you need to go to bed. And I'm doing that because I love you. And you're mad about it. Sorry about it, but I love you. Innocently, purely, I want you to have the best life. I want myself to have the best life. So you are definitely in the light attributes of this. And also redemption, which is lovely. Hey, your guardian angel is here to support you in being triumphant. This is a beautiful thing for you. You were triumphant yesterday. You were triumphant today. You thought your triumph was going to be physical union. It's not. Your triumph is not needing physical union. Congratulations. I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being. We refer to that non-physical you as your inner being or your source. It is not important what you call that source of energy or life force, but it is important that you are consciously aware of when you are allowing a full connection to it and when you are restricting it in some way. So, I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being. Right now, you are becoming aware of this divine, this special connection you have to the divine, right? Look, there's 2 divine children there. You are understanding that your inner being is source itself and your connection to it. You're consciously aware of that. And when you are allowing that, you are not restricting your access to being a co-creator and being able to see that abundance. This card is always a little bit off-putting because it's the void of course moon, and it is nothing will come of this situation. So for you, divine feminine, I think this is to put away any worries or fears you have about continuing along this path of disconnecting from your twin. I think that you fear that this will be a loss that you cannot bear, or that, you know, it means that you won't ever get to see this person, or that however you have been associating, whatever fears you have about it, nothing will come of that situation. Nothing will come of those fears or anxieties. That you don't have to be worried that something, that by doing this, that you're going to hurt divine masculine beyond repair. Nothing will come of that fear that you have. Hey, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? The devil energy, the codependency, over mothering, over nurturing, being concerned that you need to heal divine masculine because you're a healer and you're addicted to that energy. No. Establish your boundaries. Set your healthy boundaries. Remember, setting healthy boundaries is loving. It is absolutely loving. So I'm pulling from my new deck here. So I'm going to read because I'm just learning these cards and they are so beautiful. This is Colette Barron Reed's The Spirit Animal Oracle. And this card we're getting for you today is Scarab Beetle Spirit, Magic Works Through You. And the scarab beetle, of course, is a symbol of rebirth and the afterlife. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic of scarab beetle reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary seemingly out of thin air. Whenever you let your creativity flow through you, scarab beetle spirit reminds you that spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old. For spirit co-creates with you, channeling energy through you so that you feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now is a time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire, and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. This is like the equivalent of Empress energy. You're fully in your fertility, in your creativity, in the magic that you have, that high priestess energy to be able to call any of your manifestations into being. Love that. All right, divine masculine. Wow, what the actual divine masculine? You're the light attributes of the father energy. We have the mother and father here. This is a nutty ass reading. I can't even believe this reading. Light attributes are the talent for creating and supporting life, a positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So you are in your father energy. You are able to create and support life and be a positive guiding light. So if you are a father, you're in the light attributes, you're doing the right thing right now for yourself and for your family. And you've released the shadow attributes of dictatorial control. So that is good because we were having issues with your overly controlling behaviors. You are needing to call in the light of priest energy because the shadow attributes that you are currently in is violates the trust of your spiritual community or seduced by your own spiritual role. But I'm not feeling that so much as I'm seeing that you need to call in facilitate spiritual commitments and serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So you are not keeping your spiritual commitments right now. You're focused on the material. You're focused on the manifestation of the physical union for private agenda. So you definitely are needing to call in this light and keep your spiritual commitments. You made a soul contract and you need to keep those spiritual commitments. You are getting destroyer, the light attributes of the destroyer energy, which is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life. So divine masculine, divine feminine is releasing what is potentially destructive. You are mirroring her. You are releasing your own energy that is potentially destructive. You are preparing to receive this new life, right? That Excalibur card that's coming up. Like the Lady of the Lake was here with us yesterday with that Ace of Swords energy. This is a good place to be, releasing what is potentially destructive. Your guardian angel is here to support you in this retreat energy. This is take a vacation, take a break, immediately go on a retreat. Immediately do what you need to do to get yourself into the place where these cards that are in their reversals are upright so that you can have the same kind of command over yourself and your union as divine feminine does. Divine feminine's got her shit together because she retreated from you. So you need to mirror her and do the same. But whose truth is the true truth? With enough attention to anything, the essence of what you have been giving thought to will eventually become a physical manifestation. And then, as others give attention to it, they help it expand. In time, this manifestation, whether wanted or not, is called truth. Deliberate creation is about deliberately choosing those experiences you make your truths. So, in other words, anything that you give your attention to will become a physical manifestation. And then as other people give their attention to it, it will expand it. And this is true if it's something you want and if it's something you do not want. So deliberately choose what you want your truths to be, divine masculine. Deliberately choose what you want to give your attention to and what you want others to give their attention to so that you can expand what it is that you want. And divine masculine, you must know this by now. Communication is key. You need to communicate. Period, point blank. There are the twins there for you, okay? The twins. Communicate with your twin in the 3D because she's not accepting. She's closed for telepathic business. All right, star mother. How can you mother yourself, divine masculine? How can you not rely on the divine feminine to mother you and just mother yourself? She is needing to not over mother. That is a problem for you. That's a codependency issue. So what are the things you can do to nurture and love yourself? If you do not have a good mothering role model, you need to call in the light from an expander, someone who can act as an expander for you in mothering energy. The divine feminine is a great mothering energy, but you need to call in a goddess energy or, create a magnetic version of your own mother in your head or choose an actress to represent her. Just do what you got to do to imagine your own mothering energy. 111. I just won 1122. I just looked at the time. Wow. Also, I got to get going. Okay. This is the Fox Spirit card. This is think on your feet, divine masculine. Be alert now, for Fox Spirit has appeared and you are meant to move swiftly. Let this clever spirit draw out your creativity as you adjust to rapidly changing circumstances with resilience, grace, and astuteness. Fox Spirit helps you to think on your feet, using your best judgment and wits to help you slip into a more advantageous situation. Now is not a time to hesitate, but a time for swift action of the mind. A time to think outside the box and notice the many ways in which you might make a move, aware of your surroundings and always clear on what you deserve and wish to co-create. Trust that your cleverness, guided by Fox Spirit, will serve you well. Move your ass, divine masculine. Get with it. Let's pick up the speed here. We're done with your slow ass energy. Okay. Divine couple, here's the final cards for you. You're in the shadow attributes of the rebel, which is rejecting legitimate authority out of anger. What? Angry. And rebels out of, why can I not say rebel or rebels today? Oh my God, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. You want to be in the light attributes, which is challenges authority to affect social change and rejects spiritual systems that do not serve your inner needs. So do not reject legitimate authority out of anger, of course, but you want to be in the place where you challenge authority and reject spiritual systems that do not serve your needs. So don't be victim to guilt, things that cause guilt or take away your power. Come into the light of the rebel. You both need to do stress management, hardcore. This is a stressful time. It's painful. You've got 3 of Swords and 10 of Swords. You've got heartbreak. You've got painful endings here. You need to definitely do the things that help you manage this stress and anger as well. I am in the perfect position to get there from here. Nothing has to change in your environment or in the circumstances that surround you for you to begin to deliberately allow your own connection to the stream of well-being. You are in the perfect place right now to begin. So nothing has to change for you to begin to deliberately allow your own connection. And I can attest to that. I've decided I'm going to move back to the East Coast officially, and I'm starting that process. I have no idea how I'm going to get there from here because I don't have any kind of savings and I don't have a vehicle, and I have to get all of these things together. And if I sat here and thought about it, I would just probably spiral into despair because I wouldn't have any idea. But I know that I'm in the perfect position to allow that to happen. I set that desire, I set that intention, and I'm in the perfect position. There's nothing I need to do right now. I don't have to change anything to begin to deliberately allow my connection to that stream. I told the universe, hey, I want to go back to Massachusetts so I can be with my son. And the universe will go, okay. And as soon as I set that intention yesterday, shit started happening. I got a new client for nutritional counseling for Whole30 starting on January 1st. I'm starting a program for $25 a week. You can have unlimited text support, 2 30-minute calls to touch base during your Whole30, and then a wrap-up session at the end. So I have a new client doing that, and that's starting for me on the 1st. And that happened yesterday out of the blue. And then right after that, I got a refund on the terrible subscription fee that I got charged last week for no reason. And I thought I was never going to get that back. I sent a message to Venmo and was like, bro, I didn't even give them my card. PayPal pushed through a different card. And then when that card didn't work because it wasn't supposed to work, they pushed it to this card. That sucks. And Venmo was like, you know what? You're right. And I got my refund. Crazy. That happened yesterday. And the moment I chose myself, and I didn't think that was going to happen, you will get these little pings once you start choosing yourself and choosing and setting an intention without attachment, being like, hey, I think I want to do this. I want to have custody of my son again. This is the easiest way for me to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I know you're going to help me out. And then things start falling into place. So you're in the perfect position. It might not seem like it, but you can deliberately allow well-being at any point that you are at. Luck is on your side, divine couple. You're in the perfect position and you've got all the luck right now. So you're able to really be in this union within. You are completely in union inside. I don't know if you noticed by the reading today, but y'all are in union. Now you are not in physical union, but that's okay. That's not what this is about. Don't cry after this. We might cry, but it's not about physical union. Physical union is like icing. The cake is the union itself. I mean, icing's great though, but the cake, right? Okay. And you both were in high priestess energy today. And here's your priestess. And your priestess is saying, hey, how are you being called to step up and lead? So you need to ask yourself that question. How are you being called to step up and lead? And then, wow, eagle spirit. And the eagle goddess came up, was it 2 days ago? Eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. Think of the eagles flying high above the other birds, soaring on the wind. Eagle spirit has appeared to ask whether you're willing to soar to new heights, even if that means solitude for a short while. Look at that. Truly, all the wisdom of the world is available to you. When storms flash across the sky, there was a storm last night in Los Angeles. I was so excited because we never get those. It was a sign to me too, because I was like, I miss storms. I'm ready to go back to the East Coast and curl up with a book, right? When storms flash across the sky, it is eagle spirit that raises you above it all, helping you conquer fear and overcome adversity, reminding you that spirit has your back and wants you to experience life at its fullest. At this moment, you are meant to know what you have. You are meant to know that you have the highest of wisdom and courage within, gifted to you by spirit and all the angels. Boldly build your nest in a lofty space and know that now you can fly effortlessly, proudly embodying eagle spirit in all her glory and grace, claiming what is truly yours in divine timing. Wow. I love that message. I love these cards. The goddess who's closing out our reading today is Pele. And I think that's so awesome because we saw her power here for the divine masculine in this destroyer card. Pele is the fiery Hawaiian volcano goddess, also the greatest Tori Amos album, Boys for Pele. The daughter of the earth goddess Hybia, Pele came to Hawaii on a boat. Killed in a fight with her sister, the ocean, she took refuge in the glowing cauldron of Mount Kilauea. Sorry if I'm butchering all of these pronunciations. Where she receives the souls of the dead and regenerates them with fire. In tempestuous relationship with Kamapua'a, the ferocious pig god, she is portrayed as a jealous goddess, her rages manifesting as volcanic eruptions. Revered by Hawaiians even today, she carries the force of the volcano with its molten lava flow, which even in destruction creates new land. Pele stands for the molten, fierce aspect of life that is unable to do anything halfway. She reminds us that even in the midst of fiery eruption, there is creation and new life. What a powerful message to close this beautiful, very long, thorough reading of the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. I was very sad yesterday. I was in a lot of pain. This reading has given me a lot of comfort because it does show me that I can be in my spiritual fulfillment without my physical attachment. That my physical attachment must do his work. And that the problem that I was having in my situation is that I was giving and trying to heal and losing my own identity. You know, I don't even live in my own city. Right? So it's hard to let go. It's hard to watch things die. It's difficult to be in this painful place. And I'm sure, you know, it's not a linear thing. Like, I feel good right now and call me in 4 hours and I'll probably be sobbing. Like, it's the nature of loss and grief, but I'm going to allow myself to feel it. And if you're with me in the collective, make sure you do allow yourself that time to grieve what you dreamed about and what has had to change and shift. And now you can have new dreams because you're not stuck anymore in these old cycles that weren't fulfilling to you anyway. And Divine Masculine, take heart. Go into your anger, go into your passion, figure out what it is that has blocked you from your happiness. Take the messages from this reading and transform it and nurture yourself with your own mothering energy and come into union in yourself and catch up with this divine feminine. And then this physical union that you so desire will be possible, but it's not possible right now. It's just not possible. You are in union in yourselves, in that moon energy, in that 5D energy, and that has to be enough for the both of you. And when it is enough, you'll be in your Empress energy or your Emperor energy, respectively, and then you're matched. And until then, you have to go on your journey and experience other people if possible, and expand and grow until the time that you come together. Oh, I see your message, Ash. Fox has been talking to you all month. Well, there you go. Thank you all for being here with 122. Thank you all for being here with me today. I'm on a crazy journey, so y'all are with me, and I'm very appreciative. Please like, subscribe, share, click for notifications so you know when I'm going live. And if you need any spiritual, nutritional counseling, music lessons, I do all of that. tunedintarot@gmail.com. I do personal readings. I work with you on, what's a reasonable price for you. I have like a suggested donation, but then we can work with where you're at, because I don't feel that money should be a block to healing. Although I do feel that I have to be in my worthiness and request an exchange for my time and the effort it takes to connect to spirit, because it is an energetic connection and it does take a lot out of me. So if you're interested, if you're in need, tunedintarot@gmail.com. If you just want to support me because you watch these readings every day, there is a Patreon link always in the description box, and you can support me at any level, and that helps me out. Every little bit counts. I'm a single mom. I've got a lot of school debt. Help me. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for moderating, Ash, and I will see you all soon. tomorrow here on Tuned in Tarot.